I've done cars my whole life. And what inspired me was the mundaneness of my other business. It's a great getaway. The one thing that I wanted this shop to be was a getaway. I wanted it for, whether it was for me or whether it was for guys that worked with us, I always wanted it to be not a job, something we just came to and a bunch of guys worked together. If there was a mission statement that we'd put on a piece of paper, that would be it. This is an '86 C20 Camper. The way this transpired was we're actually working for a guy that actually owns a camping business. And so he bought this thing, it was little or nothing, and we thought, well, we'll just lower this thing, we'll do this. We start getting into it, and then the snowball effect comes. So what we decided to do was to take this thing and put it into a slide-out camper deal. The beauty of this is that we were able to create this slide-in camper look, 11-foot long bedsides. We think it should be a hit with the people. We started off with a sheet metal cover. Underneath this sheet metal cover is the radiator. And basically we didn't want to have a radiator cap showing. We didn't want to have any, something to fumble it up. So we basically kind of made this where it's a two-piece product. You can kind of pull it off the air cleaner, you can service it, do whatever you got to do. And then as well as the radiator itself, you can service that as well. With this taller clearance on this thing, what it allows us to do is to kind of bring the camper into the interior package that we're going to basically put together. And it's going to be a simple interior package. And what we're going to do is maybe do a little bit of flannel. We're hoping to work with Dixon flannel on this thing to create that look that'll kind of give the old, warm and fuzzy feeling, and then then ultimately be completely functional. The premise behind this Watts link is to keep everything centered. You basically want to make sure that that rear end is spot on. And the beauty of it is when you're using air ride systems, it has to have the flexibility of the change. And the flexibility of the change is that this thing pivots as this thing goes down. And wherever your rear end is placed, you have the adjustability through these joints that allow it to move left, right, or whatever you have to do in that case. What we started with was PPG paint. The PPG has been behind us on all our builds to date. The thing that we wanted to do was we kind of wanted to give it this retro look, but yet we wanted to be kind of earthy with it as far as that goes. And we brought in bright colors, but it's one of those things where it's not too much, it's just enough. And then it'll have this series of striping that goes through the engine bay, it'll go through the door jambs, it'll go all down the side of the truck. We took 4 aftermarket bedsides and we made them into 2 basically. We ended up splitting this somewhere in the vicinity of here and then making these panels so they all fit together. I think what we want to be known for is quality and integrity. I feel like that you've got to have that because ultimately what follows behind that is respect. And I feel like that we all want to have respect within the industry, but I think in order for us to have that, we have to have that quality. And integrity is huge. When we go into this thing, we basically build it so that way we can take it to any show, we can take it to any place, and there's no regrets. So you go into this thing and it looks as clean on top as it does on the bottom, and between the aesthetics and how well we do the fabrication, it all clicks. If somebody pulls a panel off, we want them to be impressed with the fact that they pulled a panel off and it doesn't look horrible. We want a situation where we can be proud of the next person taking this thing apart because it's inevitable, it's a hot rod. Something will go wrong, some things happen, and we want to be proud of what we do behind the fact.